one of the first things that I tried to incorporate was what you refer to as this open recovery versus a high elbow recovery, right? So I used to find myself, coming real close to my body to try to get that arm over into the water. And I noticed people either with your content or just watching races online, people's arms were quite a bit wider when they were coming back into their recovery. And I wasn't sure if that was just sloppy or they were in a hurry or or they were open water. I really didn't understand why they were so wide. And then when I started doing that, I heard that slap in the water, right? That you just sort of drop your hand in and extend it. And then all of a sudden you get this little bit of a slap to it. And I thought, okay, well, you've been talking about that. So I started to incorporate that. That's definitely made it easier. I just feel like, I wouldn't say I'm effortless, but that's certainly one of the things that I have incorporated into the swim, is just trying to come a little bit wider with the recovery and stretch that arm out. So that's definitely, making sure, all the, I guess I should back up and say that all of your instruction or all of the analysis that I've followed you now for quite a while really kind of comes down to those 5 or 6 things, how you start to catch, where you put your hand in the water to begin with, focus on that power diamond when you're going through the water. I don't bilateral breathe. I just breathe to one side. I don't worry too much about that. I try to make sure that at least one foot breaks the water line when I'm kicking. I know that I'm dragging my feet a little bit. So all of the things you are suggesting, you could kind of break them into these 5 or 6 little things. And now it's just a matter of, keeping it front of mind when you're in the water, and executing it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's when you look at it and then you have it explained, you can think, all right, it's really simple, and it really comes down to a couple of simple things. And then the challenging part is to be able to do that and do it consistently, and then do it at speed. And that's where all the practice comes in, and doing the drills and the warm up and that sort of thing. But I 100% agree with like some of those small changes you talked about, the open recovery. Like some of those small changes where people are perhaps told something like have a high elbow recovery, and it's taken as come really close to the body. And so you get jammed up with your shoulder. And yeah, teenagers, a lot of those guys will have the range of motion to be able to do it comfortably. And it might be an okay thing to do, but being an adult, we just don't have that same range of motion. And so we're just going to do some really funky things that probably aren't good for your shoulder if we're having to come over, really close to the body. So sometimes those little tweaks can make a difference.